The Mercedes-Benz EQS sedan is the brand's flagship electric car, and it's similar in size and price to the brand's other flagship car, the S-Class sedan. That one's powered by an internal combustion engine, and even when you don't take into account the differences in powertrains between these two cars, there are some significant differences in terms of how they both look, feel, and drive. When you think of the S-Class sedan, it's got that traditional luxury car shape with a long hood, a short rear deck lid, and the cabin that's set rearward in the chassis. But the EQS sedan has a completely different design. The front roof pillars are pulled forward, and that results in this short hood. The roof line is pretty low too, and that has some consequences for visibility and passenger space on the inside. And even though Mercedes calls this a sedan, it's actually a hatchback. It's got this really big lift gate and actually a pretty sizable cargo area and reasonable versatility too, because the second row can fold forward to make for an extended cargo floor. So you can really feel that low roofline when you're in the driver's seat of the EQS. There's not a lot of extra headroom for taller drivers, and the forward swept roof pillars have some consequences for visibility, especially at intersections and seeing traffic coming from the crossing street. These are pretty substantial and they can block your view. Rear visibility also isn't that great from the small rear window. The S-Class has its share of tech features with a central touchscreen and a digital instrument panel, but the EQS takes the screens to a new level with the Hyperscreen, which is standard. Now, the Hyperscreen includes 3 screens on the dash. There's the 12.3-inch digital instrument panel, a 17.7-inch central touchscreen, and another 12.3-inch touchscreen for the front passenger. And they're all behind a single piece of glass. There aren't a lot of physical controls in the EQS because you interact with many things through the screen, but I thought the interface works pretty well overall. There are these tiles on the central screen that you can call up more information, whether it's related to media or the electric drive system in the vehicle. What I did find though is some issues with glare from this big glass panel. It was catching a lot of light when I was driving, and also this lighter colored dashboard reflecting in the windshield. This is also a pretty tall dashboard, and when you combine that with the low roof line, you don't have a huge windshield to look out of. The backseat of the EQS doesn't offer the comfort and space that you'll find in an S-Class sedan, but it's still reasonably accommodating for adult passengers, and it actually feels a little bit more open and airy than in the front of the car. There's decent headroom, and the feeling of openness is enhanced by this dual pane moonroof. Legroom is okay too, and the seat is at a decent position off the floor, so it doesn't feel like you're sitting on the ground. I did notice there's a fair amount of lumbar support though on this backrest, and you can't back that off if you'd like less, though you can power recline the seat and power adjust the head restraints here.
So the thing that really stands out with the EQS driving experience is how smooth it is. It has smooth, predictable acceleration, also a smooth linear brake pedal feel. And this being the 450 Plus model, it has a single rear motor. It's rated at 355 horsepower, 419 pounds-feet of torque, and it's enough to move this big, heavy sedan pretty easily. It doesn't really deliver that overwhelming acceleration feel you get in some really high-powered EVs, but completely acceptable. And what I like about the tuning of this vehicle is really the overall comfort. It has standard air suspension, and in the comfort drive mode, you get that kind of floaty, soft response that you'd be familiar with if you're coming out of an S-Class. Switching to sport mode does firm things up a little bit, but not too much. It's not a dramatic change. Probably the biggest contributing factor to ride firmness is the recommended tire pressure setting in this car. So this has the 21-inch wheels and tires, which are optional, and those recommend a 41 PSI front and rear setting under normal load conditions. And that's a little bit on the higher side. So when you travel over rougher roads or if there's a little minor potholes, you feel that firmness and the higher tire pressure kind of come through the suspension. But otherwise, in terms of the actual tuning of the air suspension, very comfort focused overall. It's also very quiet inside when you're traveling at cities, suburban speeds, especially if you've turned off the optional sound effects that Mercedes offers. There are a few of them you can choose from. to offer kind of the experience of what an internal combustion engine would offer, but an EV form of that, basically, some noise to accompany acceleration. It's not until you get up to highway and faster speeds that more road noise kind of makes its way into the cabin. Otherwise, it's very undisturbed, very quiet in here. The EQS has a 108 kilowatt hour battery pack, and that gives it a maximum driving range on a full charge of 352 miles according to the EPA, which is a pretty good driving range for an EV. In terms of home level 2 charging, it can charge it up to 9.6 kilowatts, and its DC fast charging capability is up to 200 kilowatts at a compatible charging station and under ideal conditions too, which you're not always going to find just because of outside temperature or other factors that may come into play. The regenerative braking system in the EQS is kind of interesting. It offers normal, strong, or none settings, and those are managed by steering wheel paddles. So when you're in the no recuperation or the none setting, as the car is now, if you let off the accelerator, it's just going to coast. It feels like it'll coast forever. There's nothing holding it back. You can switch to normal by pressing the left paddle, and that offers some reduction in speed, but it's pretty minor. It doesn't really feel like it's acting on the vehicle that strongly. It's not until you move into the strong setting by pressing the paddle again that you get kind of that one pedal driving feel, where if you lift off the accelerator pedal, the car starts slowing immediately. You do still need to press the brake when you're coming to a complete stop. It's not a one pedal driving system like you may have experienced in other EVs.
The EQS 450 Plus starts at right around $105,000, and with options, our test car was right around $115,000. Now that's similar to what an S-Class starts at, with the S500 starting at right around $118,000. For more information on both the EQS and the S-Class, be sure to check out Cars.com.